All right, welcome to April. The months are moving on now. It's April 4th now, and things are picking up pace down here at Horseshoe. Last Saturday we had the first of what we hope is going to be many fishery management seminars, conferences, call them what you like. It's organised by Andrew Ellis, and he invited a few guest speakers up. We had Viv Shears from, amongst other things, VS Fisheries and Sparshalt, and also from Sparshalt we had Bernice Brewster, Matthew Petit from Embryo, Dave Parr from the Earl of Harrington Fishing Club down in Derby, and Ben Pinninger from BP Milling, and myself. I hesitate to say myself because the rest of them were all really good. I didn't have much time to prepare it. Everyone else had slideshows and notes and stuff, and I've been that busy. I thought I'll be all right, I'll wing it. And I think secretly I were hoping that it'd overrun and I were on last and there wouldn't be any need for me to speak, sort of thing. Not that I kind of didn't want to speak, but I'm not much good at public speaking. I'm all right waffling on in front of a camera and what have you, but well, that's debatable. But yeah, anyway, unfortunately they didn't run over and I had to have a go, and I was getting away with it for a while, and then I just hit a wall and couldn't remember what I was supposed to be saying next, so I cut mine short. But if I am invited, I did actually quite enjoy it, but if I am invited again, I think I should perhaps do a bit more preparation and put a bit of a slideshow together and get my act together. But there you go, you live and learn. But yeah, it was a great event. We had a full house with over 50 people there, and we've already advertised we're having another one, and I think 60 odd people have already applied to come. We could only fit 50 odd in the lodge, so we'll have them throughout the year, sort of thing. So hopefully everyone who wants to come gets a chance. It's not just for fishery managers; it's for anyone with any interest in fish or fisheries. You know, it'd be nice to have a few anglers come along and kind of get a rough idea of what we do and why we do it, and you know, ask guys like Viv and Andrew and Bernice and what have you any questions. You know, they've got a wealth of knowledge between them, and they've probably got all bases covered. So yeah, keep your eye out for future events and come along. Like I said, it was a really good day, and I enjoyed it. And but yeah, at the end of the last vlog, the March one, I put a few pictures of fish being caught out on Horseshoe up, and I recorded it, edited and recorded it a couple of days before the end of March. And I mean, March were mad enough, but the last few days in March it just went nuts on here. It's I think the last 4 or 5 days in March we had something like 21 different 30s out. It was just nuts. There were a guy up in the 40s, I think he had 13 fish. He had included in them were 3 30s. Young lad on winter disabled, he had about 15 fish, 3 of them were over 30. Andy Grimshaw on the lagoon, he had 4 fish, but 3 of them were over 30. Justin Hawkins had a couple of 30s. The mighty Melvin, he had 10 fish and 3 of them were 30s. John Fluin came up, he helped himself to a 30. They were just coming out left, right and centre. I mean, Carl spent most of the last 4 days bombing up and down the lake, taking pictures of 30s. We have a rule on here that if you catch a 30, you have to let Carl know, and what we're trying to do is compile all the fish in excess of 30s on here, so when people take photos and send them in, we can tell which are repeat captures, and really it just gives us an idea of how many 30s are in here, because I'm not kidding you, there's bloody loads. I think by the end of March we'd had about 28 different 30s out that we could identify, and let's see what April brings. It's like I say, it's absolutely gone unbelievable on here. So but anyway, yeah, so enough of me waffling on. You'll never guess what, I'm actually off fishing. So what I'll do, I'll leave you with a few clips of the seminar and a few photos of the fish that's been out in Horseshoe lately, and hopefully I can get amongst a couple myself. So I'll have to get my gear together, and the next time I see you, hopefully I'll be on the bank. So catch you soon.
Thank you.
Right, I hope you enjoyed them photos there. Like I say, it were just a mega month in March, and just as I told you, I put the mockers on it. I've just done 3 nights. I'm just in the process of packing up now, and not a bloody touch. So yeah, if they don't guarantee to put the mockers on it, it's me getting the rods out. So there you are. But there has been a few fish out up in the 50s. Seemed to be the place to be. I know a guy had 12 fish the other day up there, so everyone buggered off up there and surrounded the poor guy, which is the way of the modern carp world, I'm afraid. But where I am on the Winter Road Bank, there hasn't been a fish out. I think there's been 1 fish out in about 4 days. That were, of course, until young Dan Ship jumped in next door, and he's just had a 32 out, so that's limiting my excuses. So yeah, but I've had a nice time though. I've enjoyed it, and kind of that's the main thing. It's I know some people think that's a cop out for blanking, but last year I went to a lake. I had 40 fish out in two nights and a bit, and sort of thing. It's the most fish I've ever had, and it wasn't on a runs water. I've been there a couple of years previously. I had 3 fish out and then 5 fish, but this time I just couldn't go wrong. I had 40, like I say, over 40 fish out to over 30 pound, and it was just a nightmare, really. It's I mean, I enjoyed catching the fish, but everything else, there were bloody kids swimming in the lake. They were chainsawing from dawn till dusk, and I actually ended up packing up 3 days before I should have done. Like I said, God knows how many fish I might have had if I'd have stayed, but I didn't enjoy myself. I'd caught a record number of fish for me. I think it was a record for the lake as well, but and on that, I didn't enjoy it. So yeah, it's not always a cop out, but having said all that, a fish would have been nice. I was trying, so I'm not making excuses up there, but yeah, I enjoyed it, and that's it. So yeah, like I say, I'm just packing up now. It's Thursday, I think it's the 6th today, so it's Good Friday tomorrow, so the Easter madness starts on here. It's not a time I can say I really look forward to on here. It's I don't know, people just think bank holidays are some excuse to act like, well, you know what I mean, but I will see how it goes anyway. So we try to keep a decent control on things here. We've got it pretty well sussed out, so hopefully everyone enjoys themselves and has a nice time, which is what we always strive to give to people who come on this lake. So right, I'll get packed up now, and I'm off. So I'll catch up with you later on in the month. Cheers. Right, that was the result of my blank on horseshoe. First time I'd fished it for a while, so not too bothered. Yeah, April is traditionally the time when what you'd call the beginning of the season on here. Most of the anglers start coming back, so the bigger projects get put on ice for a bit, but there's always plenty to do. We've still got to keep the plate. Shut up. We've still got to keep the plates spinning, so just keeping the stock ponds topped up, keep an eye on the oxygen levels in here, and mow the grass and what have you. And the March and April have been so wet, we haven't really been able to mow the grass, so we need to get on top of that. It's getting a bit too long now, but yeah, there's always stuff to do, and last weekend we had the first, what you would call first event on here. We had the Tench fishers, so what I'll do, I'll leave you with a couple of clips of the Tench fishers, and then we'll finish it off later on. Shut up. There you are, that were the tench fishers, and I think they ended up with 25 tench between them and 8 carp. I think the biggest tench were £8, 14 perhaps, and the biggest carp they had were £28. So yeah, they all seem to enjoy themselves as per usual. It's quite nice having the tench fishers down here. They've been coming a long time. I think Vince said that was the 16th year, the 16th time they've been here, so probably been coming here 20 years, give or take a couple of closures for the lockdowns and COVID and what have you. And yeah, we always welcome here, and like I said, it's always a nice event. They're always well behaved and in good spirits, so yeah, well done to them. Just while we're on about the tench fishers, we do close, pardon me while that goes past. I think we're living in the Bronx, not Letchford. Yeah, we do close a couple of swims off, well, a few swims. We close the whole of Summer Bay off for them, and a few of the permit holders or guys who want to come down on the day tickets have a little sort of moan about it, and I kind of understand it, but they've been coming here a long time, and like I say, when we lost the fish in 2011, you know, a lot of people abandoned us and ran for the hills, and the tench fishers carried on coming, and to be honest, we were glad of the income at the time. And I know we're turning things around here now, and you know, we perhaps don't need the revenue that they bring as much as we did, but that's not to say you just cast them aside and say thanks, we don't need it anymore. You know, you've got to show a bit of loyalty, and they were loyal to us, and we're going to be loyal to them. You know, that's how it goes, and people shouldn't really have a problem with it. It might upset an individual, but you know, it's all for the good of the Carp Society. Everything we do down here is another case in point is later on in the year we've got the Anglers Charity Auction fishing down here. That's a weekend we hand over to them, and again, some people think, oh, bloody hell, why is the lake closed again? I bought my permit, and you know, and again, I understand it, but I don't want to get the rake out and go over old ground. But when we were having the legal troubles, you know, the legal bill was £170,000, and we didn't have it. And to be honest, even if we did, we couldn't have got to it because the bank accounts were frozen. So a hell of a lot of that money were raised by Mickey D and the Anglers Charity Auctions. So, you know, without them, chances are we wouldn't have been able to carry on with the legal battle. You know, the British legal system is quite nuts, because at the end of the day, it kind of didn't matter who were right or wrong. It were who had enough money to keep going. It's kind of like poker, you know, stick or twist. It's insane, the British legal system, but thankfully we had guys like the Mickey D and the Angling Charity Association auctions, helping us out, and it's only right that we repay them, because this place might not be here if it weren't for them. So we do close the lake for them, and like I say, nobody's trying to have anyone over here. Everything we do is for the good of the Carp Society, and with the odd exception when I stick my evil megalomaniac nose in and just purposely disrupt somebody's enjoyment. I am joking, of course. Right, so that's about it for April. Apart from one thing, I had to redeem myself after my blank, and last week, I think it was, or the week before, I seen a few fish in the lagoon, and I thought, I've got to get my rods out and have a go. So I set up and I was lucky enough, I caught a few fish. I had 4. I had a 21, a 22, a 28 and a fantastic 35. So yeah, hopefully I've I've redeemed myself and made good on my blank. Either way, so yeah, that's a bit. It's April. That's it for April. It's still a few days left in April, but if anything happens, I can stick it onto the May blog, because I've just got a new editing thing that I have absolutely no idea how it works, so it might take me a while to get all this together and get it out there, so just bear with us. Right, and that's it, so I'll see you in May. Cheers, bye bye.